Okay, and now I will share my screen. Okay, hopefully you guys can all see that.
Al, you may want to pause because there was a link mishap with people, and so you might need give people an extra opportunity to join.
Got it. We've been having that kind of all day, yeah. So we'll take a couple of minutes and then we'll get started.
Al, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just a second ago, before I refreshed my schedule, I went to click on this group and there was like a separate link for West Rutland School and one of the other schools. And when I clicked on it, I went into a meeting with a whole bunch of people in my school and no one was talking at all. And so I just checked on Brian's and his page was refreshed and it took me to this meeting. So most of West Rutland may be on some old link.
There were two sections that were set up for this FastBridge Savers discussion because it's such a large group. So one was going with, I think, Sandy Solero, and one was going with me.
So right now, when I look at that in the schedule, there's only a single link there. So I just don't know if I or everyone else are in the right place.
Al, Lisa sent out an email telling everyone to come to this link, but I'm not so sure everyone's checked their emails at this point to see that. So that's probably the issue.
I did not get that email. It may be not for a West Rutland school.
Wow, I didn't get that email either, but possibly something happened and Sandy wasn't able to do her presentation. Not sure.
I don't even know how to get back to it because now that I've refreshed to even tell them, because now that I've refreshed my page, I can't open the old link.
Well, it's okay. What this is all about is what you guys are going to have to do for FastBridge from grades, if you're teaching grades 7 to 12. So if you're a 7th to 12th grade teacher, this is where you're supposed to be.
Right, but most of my school is in that other meeting, is what I'm trying to say.
And we have no way to get back and tell them
because it was an old link.
Because we don't have the link.
I can go walk down the hallway, but you could. I mean, you could see West Rutland is not here.
Yeah.
Except for Connor and
Listen, Brian. I'll try to take care of that, Al. This is Sandy. I'm not working
hi,
today because I have COVID, and I'm at home, but I'm like joining anyway because I like to lurk.
Oh, great.
So I'll go.
You get to see how I murdered your presentation.
No, don't worry about it. But I'll go try to find. I'll talk to people at those two other schools and tell them to join this. Oh, thank you, Jen.
So if you just have your old link, if I just said something when I stuck my head in there before, but I was confused about where they
I don't know where the old link is. Like, I don't know where it went, but so Jen, you said you've got everyone from Proctor?
I think she said she was going to go take care of it, whatever that means. I'm going to give folks about 5 minutes then.
Yeah, there's quite a few from West Rutland that are popping on now.
So Jen just went into the other meet where I was, and she just told us to move into this one. So everybody should be moving in a second.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. We'll start at 10 after. It's been one of those days. That's all I have to say.
Al, you should be good to go.
Proctor's all set. Very good. I see a couple of more showing up, so I'm just going to give them the couple of more minutes. We'll start at 10 after, like I said. Okay. I just put a link in the chat so that you guys can follow along or have it for future reference. I see that number of participants isn't changing much at this point, so we'll go ahead and get started. And oh, now that I say that, a couple of more have joined. Hi. Okay, I'll reshare that link to the chat for the new folks. Like I say, we'll get started. Let me share my screen. I have noticed today the internet has been a little wonky, and some of the sites we've been trying to access have been a little wonky all day. So forgive me if something goes terribly wrong for you guys. We're going to start with a quick overview of what it is that we're doing this year. So you've probably all seen the assessment calendar at this point, I hope. If not, one of the things you've noticed in there, last year we did an SEL screener for all our kids K to 12. This year we're going to do an SEL screener, but we're moving from the Review 360 to the FastBridge screener. The screener is called SABRS, SAEBRS, and don't ask me to remember what that all means. It's an acronym for something. In any case, it's an SEL screener. Here's our session goal. I hope we're going to be able to get you guys to log into FastBridge to be able to perform SABRS evaluations and administer the MySabres assessment to your students. We'll see how successful we are at that. This is a much larger group than I had planned on. So this thing called FastBridge, what is FastBridge? FastBridge, overall, FastBridge is essentially another assessment like MAP. And it's used as a screener. It's also used as a progress monitoring tool. So we have the ability to give FastBridge reading and FastBridge math tests to students. K to 6 is going to be doing that. 7 to 12 is only going to be doing the SEL screener portion of this test. And that's reflected here. The SEL screener will be K to 12, but for you guys, does that help any? I'm not sure if my microphone is working properly. Okay, thanks, Scott. All right. What we used last year, again, was the Review 360. Now we're going to use SABRS and MySabres. SABRS is something that teachers do for their kids. MySabres is a student reflection on their own behavior. We're going to be doing the SABRS because only one teacher is allowed to report for any given student. We're going to be doing that, I believe. Oh, what do we call those? God, I hate when my mind goes blank. Advisories in our student advisory sessions. Sorry. To log in, what we're going to do, most of you, I hope, have noticed, as an SU, we've pushed out an extension called the Clever extension. That up in the upper right-hand corner, you can find it. It's this little blue box with a C in it. Mm-hmm. We're going to click on that. We're going to log in with Google, and then you want to sign in as a teacher. And we'll get to that in a minute. Once you're there, we're going to find the district page tab near the top of the screen. And then we're going to find this Illuminate Education FastBridge icon. And you want to click on the heart to add it to your favorites list so it shows up on your teacher tab in Clever. Now, Clever is a new thing for all of us this year, but we're using Clever to auto roster map things like Lexia and Dreambox, and there's a number of other learning apps that are available through Clever that you guys can sign up to use in your classrooms. Sales pitch for Clever. Sorry, that was a little rabbit trail. But once we've logged into FastBridge, we're going to choose the Training and Resource tab, and I'll go through that in a minute on my screen so that you guys can see what all of this looks like. We're going to scroll down through the FastBridge assessments to select the Sabres and the My Sabres training modules. We have a link here to a PDF quick sheet on My Sabres and an overview. I know I'm flying through these slides fast. I'm trying to get through the slideshow so that we can show you how to log in and get you all logged in. I'm expecting some issues with logging in, so based on how things have gone today. So an overview of Sabres. It's a social, academic, and emotional behavior risk screener. There are about 19 items that you have to fill out for each of your students. It doesn't take that long to fill them out. You guys have been through the Review 360 screener before. It's similar to that. So we evaluate student functioning in terms of overall general behavior, social behavior, academic behavior, emotional behavior. We complete the screening 3 times a year. One educator can complete the training for the students. It takes 1 to 3 minutes to complete per student. But it's something you guys really need to get to know your educators. Partly why we're doing it in advisory is for that continuity throughout the school year. Because I know that winter term evaluation, especially, you guys have just changed semesters. It's really hard to evaluate students at that point. This is kind of an overview of what the scale looks like. Once we log into FastBridge, we select the screening tab, select Sabres from the list of assessments on the left side. You find the student name. And then using this scale, which is never, sometimes, often, and almost always, you answer the questions in the prompts. It's kind of a redundant slide from before. So this is the My Sabres section. And these are the instructions for getting into My Sabres. You set the My Sabres screen language. I probably won't go too in depth into this. You'll see more of this in the training module when we get you there. Students are going to log into their FastBridge account. They're going to select the blue tab that reads More Tests, My Sabres, and then they'll start their assessment. They're going to see more statements like, I argue with others, and they're going to have that same scale: never, sometimes, often, and almost always. At the end, you're going to have a report for each student that looks something like this, and that's kind of a blurry image. I apologize for that. But it does color code, students who are at various stages of risk based on the answers to the survey questions. And now we're going to give you some time to explore this. And the first place I'd like you all to go is to try, up here in the corner, clicking on that Clever extension. It should pop up a window that looks like this. We're just going to log in with Google. And this is where I've got my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that you guys can get to this point. I'm going to log in as a teacher since I have a couple of test students. So this is the screen you should land on with Clever.
Sorry, Albert. I don't see the high school, Proctor High School.
You don't.
Oh, it's there.
When you got there, did you see a tab at all? You signed in with Google? And were you able to sign in as a teacher?
It just asked for my school name.
It asked me for my school name, and I put it in, and then I was able to go directly to this screen that Albert's showing us.
Me too, and I'm at Proctor as well.
Okay, hang on just a second. I apologize.
Yeah, I can find the school, Al, but I can't. When I go to log in with Google, it says unable to authenticate.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was afraid of that, and I've got such a large group. For those of you that are having trouble actually logging into Clever, I'm going to ask you to send me an email, and I'm going to have to go and figure out what the problem is.
Would you like me to just drop the link for FastBridge into the chat?
Yes, please. But there again, your user IDs are based on this Clever ID, so each person has an unusual looking user ID. So I'm not sure logging into FastBridge is going to be easy for everybody without the Clever extension work.
So in the meantime, I was able to get into the elementary version of it because the elementary school was listed. So I just tried that one and was able to get in.
Yeah, what confuses me about that for you, Desna, is that I see your name under Proctor High School in Clever.
And it's not coming
So
up.
I'm not sure why it's not coming up for you.
Okay.
Desna, did you type in very slowly, Proctor? Because once I tried typing in West Rutland and it wouldn't show up, but I typed in West and it started showing up.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Al, it's saying that, it's giving me an message and saying it can't authenticate me. I sent it to you. I emailed you the picture of it.
Excellent.
So I have a comment. One thing, make sure that you're doing Proctor Junior Senior High School, because there is something that comes up as Proctor Schools. It's not that one. You'll get the message.
Okay, let me try that.
You have to click on the Proctor Junior Senior High School link.
Okay.
Okay, so
that fixed it for me.
it did get fixed. I typed in and it picked the Proctor Elementary one, but yet when I went to the page, it says Proctor Junior Senior. So I guess I'm set.
I don't know if this makes a difference. If I use the extension link at the top
of the screen, it does what you guys are talking about. But if I go to the GRCSU bookmarks and click on the Clever login there, it takes me in automatically, and then I can get to FastBridge. So maybe that'll help some of you.
I'm in now, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm in now.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Allie, I was doing the Proctor High School, not Proctor Junior Senior High School.
So from the My Teacher page, some of you may or may not see the Illuminate Education, but if you click up on this district tab, once you're logged in, the Illuminate link should show up. And if you click on the heart there, it will add it to My Teacher pages. So you automatically, it'll move it over to the main page that shows up when you first log in. And from there, the very next step that I'd like people to take is to click on the Clever icon. And it should automatically log you into FastBridge.
What icon are you talking about, Al?
So if you're on the Clever page here and you see this icon up here, it looks like a blue arrow and it says Illuminate Education / FastBridge.
Okay.
Click right on there. Hopefully you guys don't have too much trouble logging in through this step. Again, if you're having issues with that Clever extension, please send me an email so that I have record of it. We can go in and try and troubleshoot it. So are folks mostly here at the FastBridge login page? So go ahead and click on the Training and Resources tab in this upper menu.
Hello.
This is...
Isn't this lovely? And it's bright and I can see trees and sky and it's not on the hot side of the school.
It's on the hot
It's not on.
Oh, no.
Darcy, you're not muted.
Sounds like a good room.
Sorry. Where am I?
All right. If you scroll down through this, this is a set of training resources for FastBridge itself. And as you scroll down, we get to this section labeled Behavior. And in here are the training modules that show you how to run Sabers and administer My Sabers to students. So these are the two modules that you guys should complete for the full training. And the whole point of all of this was to get you guys to this page so that you could get into these modules. I realize not everyone may have been able to get there that's in this session. There's a large group of you, but I know there are probably some questions. I can take some questions, but I'm going to give you guys time now to go ahead and go through these training modules. Yes, Connor.
So if you teach high school, you should look at the My Sabers one, correct?
You're going to be doing both Sabers and My Sabers. The Sabers is going to be done by teachers in their advisory groups, where you answer a number of questions based on each student in your advisory group. The My Sabers is going to be administered to students where they do a self-reflection on their own behavior based on those questions that it asks.
Okay, thank you.
Melissa and then Mark.
Will something be going out to parents, letting them know that this is happening and that teachers are going to have access to the answers that their children are filling out on this questionnaire?
Does one of our coaches who are on here have an answer to that question?
I'm sorry, Al. I'm just trying to support kind of from home. I didn't even hear that question, but I did hear you say, Coach, have an answer. So
Yeah. Is something going to be going out to parents, letting them know that
That the teachers are going to have access to the answers that their students have filled out on this questionnaire?
I don't know what information is going out about Sabers. That hasn't been shared with me. But I don't even know if this is Sandy speaking. I don't even know if that's correct though. Do we definitely have, I think we see like their score as to how they're doing, but I don't think you're privy to like their answers on each individual response.
I'm asking because last year we did.
Last year you had access to
Yep.
the specific
Yes.
answers, like for each question. I have a feeling that this one isn't like that, but I'll look into it and I'll also pass on, we'll find out how the information is being communicated to families, and that'll be communicated to you guys prior to these happening.
there was a question about, can you leave while you're doing these modules? Yes, go ahead, log off and to take the modules if that's what you'd like to do. And I saw another hand raised. Was it Mark?
Yeah, never mind. I had to reload the page. It wasn't loading, but reloading it fixed it.
Okay, so you're all set. Very good.
Would you be willing just to show us how to get to the module page one more time from the home page?
Sure. So I'll start right from the Clever page. I go over from my teachers page where I've shared my favorites to it. There's this icon with the blue arrow, Illuminate FastBridge. I click on there. It logs me straight into FastBridge. Okay. So once I'm there, there's this horizontal menu at the top. I click on Training and Resources, and it loads the Training and Resource page. From here, there's a lot of information in here, all sorts of training resources around FastBridge. This year, you guys, middle, high school level, don't need to worry about that at all, except for the Sabers and My Sabers apps. And if you scroll down this page, it's a fair way down. You get down to this behavior section. And right here in the middle are the training modules for Sabers and My Sabers.
So you have to have that, you have to have those two options under favorites with the one with a heart, correct?
The Illuminate icon is what I highlighted with the heart back on my Clever page.
Yeah.
But all that is it's an icon to an app. When I click on it, it logs me into FastBridge. And once I'm logged into FastBridge, I have access to all of those training resources.
Yeah, I guess I don't have access to FastBridge on mine.
It didn't log you. Let's see. It didn't bring you to this page at all?
It did not, I don't know how to get there from mine because I don't have access to FastBridge.
I didn't have access to FastBridge in Clever, but I then went on the FastBridge site itself and logged in that way.
Okay.
But I don't
Yeah,
have that blue arrow
but
that you were talking about, Al. That's not on my Clever page.
but there's an explanation for that. Phyllis, you're a guidance counselor, and I don't think you have regular classes assigned to you, but Scott has classes assigned to him and should have access straight through the
Gotcha.
link. So I'm going to need to troubleshoot that one. Because Scott, you should have access straight through the Clever extension.
That's what I figured.
Okay.
So Scott, I did see that you're set up in Clever properly. I'm looking at FastBridge now to see if there's an issue on that end.
Thank you.
Should work.
Hey, Al, I can't get onto FastBridge either.
Interesting. Okay, thank you, Linda. You are both set up in FastBridge.
I don't have the icon on my Clever I think I got into Clever correctly. I can see Clever, but I don't see the blue arrow.
And Al, when I log in, it just keeps saying, you know, we're unable to authenticate using your email. And I've tried a couple of those different ways that everybody suggested, and it's still not letting me log into the Clever.
Okay. Amanda.
Al, I'm not sure if it's because I did just, you know, I just had a name change. So I'm not sure if it's not identifying my new email or if it's still under my old or if that matters.
I'm betting it matters.
Yeah.
So in your case, it might be that it's not updated properly in Infinite Campus,
Okay.
which is something that your front office staff will have to take care of.
So when they update it in Infinite Campus, then that should make this work.
It
Hopefully.
should, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully, and if it doesn't, let me know and
Okay. I did email you
we'll fix it.
already, so just so it's there, but I will reach out to my front office now.
Great, thanks. McIntyre. I should add too, Amanda, when they update it, it may take a day or two for it to flow through the
Okay.
update process.
Okay.
Because one system syncs with another, and then that system has
Absolutely.
to sync with the third.
Yep. Understood. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Question, do students use Clever? Students will be using the Clever extension to access My Sabers, yes. And advisory. I don't know if you have something like a lot of schools do have an advisory. I think, well, Proctor and Pulteney both do, I believe. I'm not sure if you have a similar thing. I don't know what you would call it in West Rutland, if it's a homeroom or something like that, what you do with enriching students. If that doesn't work out for West Rutland, we'll have to have a discussion and figure out when where the best place is to do this with students. Just so that it's consistent. What have I left up there? I also know that for many of you, if this isn't working today, I know we're not doing the FastBridge until about mid-October. The building coaches will be around to help you. I know we're going over this now. It's been kind of fast. And there will be questions, but there will be help between now and October for those of you who don't remember how to get in here. So this, like always, this isn't the last chance to figure this out. Okay. We're getting near the end of the session time at this point. So if there are any last minute questions, Otherwise, if you've been having trouble, if you're still having trouble accessing the site, let me know. I've got a number of emails from people already who are. I'm going to go through those and try and figure out what's going on there. But at this point, I'm going to end the session and let you guys go. Thank you for your time. I apologize for the issues that we did have. And we'll get those ironed out soon. Hope everybody has a good afternoon and a good day tomorrow.